Your name is the Sovereign Slayer, but your friends call you Jack. A dark night in a city that keeps too many secrets to speak. You're in your office, leaning back in a chair, sucking on a cigar the size of your thumb, relaxing, when Trouble walks through the door. Trouble, of course, is 6.5 feet tall, propped up on long, slender legs, topped with eyes so narrow and calculating it makes the blood freeze in your veins. Slayer, Trouble says, parting those pretty lips to huskily whisper. In spite of your heart beginning to thud in your black-shelled chest, you play it cool.
What do you want?
You ask irreverently, kicking your feet up on the desk next to a large jester hat that you're conspicuously not wearing. The heir has gone through his portal, she says, as if that means something to you. Her voice is stern, the kind of voice upon whose authority you've developed your anarchistic philosophy.
So I heard,
you say stoically.
Our forces have begun to draw power from the first kernel,
she says again in that tone that implies you should care more than you do.
So I heard,
you repeat, leaning back further in your chair.
I know the score. The runs all pass their first gates, and once we do, we use their kernel's first prototyping to power up.
In a sense,
Trouble says, her eyes narrow.
So you're not ignorant, just willfully misbehaving. Like a petulant child, as always.
Trouble, of course, is known by another name, the Black Queen, the sovereign of your own land, Durst. She runs the place, and on paper you're a hired assassin whose job it is to serve your sovereign by murdering the queen of your rival kingdom, Prospect.
Slayer, put on the fucking hat,
she says, arms crossing. She clicks a finger impatiently against her arm. You look with distaste at the hat in question. It's a royal policy to shift aesthetics to match with the player's prototype, but this gregarious jester hat is just wrong. You prefer the plain and the serviceable.
And what if I don't?
You challenge, voice even.
Then you'll be processing parking tickets for the rest of your natural life,
the queen says through gritted teeth. Oh, you can't help but smirk. You love getting even the smallest rise from your monarch. You're a pretty important guy, you think. The one and only Sovereign Slayer, the man who's tasked with killing royalty. Not a guy to be taken lightly.
Slayer,
she warns, but you're already on a roll.
You need me, doll.
Your hands faux politely folded behind your back, looking up at her.
I'm the guy who's gonna kill the White Queen for you. A job I can't do if I'm pushing pencils for you on account of some errant headwear.
You call her bluff. You can see her squirming, gripping her arms so hard you think they might crack. But to your dismay, she doesn't break.
Fine,
she says, snapping her fingers. Before you can so much as protest, 3 burly Dursites march in, stacks of papers in their hands, placing them like cargo on your desk. The burliest one takes the name plaque off your desk, replacing it with a new one. Shipment Servicer.
What the fuck?
You cry, taking a slip from the top of the pile.
These are all citations for tariff dodges.
Wear the hat, servicer,
she says, pulling rank.
And finish processing these citations before sky arise, or I'll find someone else to kill the White Queen for me.
Your monarch pushes you, placing a single clawed finger on your chest right above your heart. She could kill you with just a little push.
Do you see this ring?
She asks you. The ring of orbs fourfold, the source of her power.
This ring means I am your queen, and you will obey me. I cannot have anything less. She who wields the ring rules.
There's a long pause, allowing her words to sink in. You say nothing, eyes meeting hers, trying not to waver. As she turns away, you stare dumbfounded, heart racing, lungs panting. You called her bluff, and you paid for it in spades. As she walks out, the door slams, before sending some of the papers skittering across the floor. With rage in your heart, you place the hat upon your head, fists clenched. But of course, instead of beginning paperwork, you reach for the phone on your desk, calling your right-hand man.
Dignitary.
You spit into the receiver before he can say hello.
Well, well, well. From the dulcet tones I'm hearing, the Queen finally got to you about the hat,
he says in his trademark smooth drawl. The draconian dignitary is one of your right-hand men because he serves as the ambassador to Prospect, which places him in a unique info-gathering position. He's also your right-hand man because he's one of the most reliable people you know.
Shut up,
you say defensively. No use trying to hide things from him. There's a pause on the other line.
Slayer,
he says, voice stern.
I know you and the old lady don't get along, but if you're thinking of doing something rash, I'd advise against it.
I know you do.
You hiss.
Are you gonna rat me out?
I didn't say that,
he responds. You know he means it.
Then get the boys together. You said you was ride or die, and if that wasn't just words, then now's the time.
Another silence. The dignitary is a contemplative guy.
We'll meet in the bar in an hour,
he says. As promised, an hour later, you and their 3 closest associates meet in front of an abandoned bar, a place you 4 have used for secret dealings for years. In the middle is the dignitary in his bowler hat, and on either sides are your 2 cohorts. To his right, the courtyard droll, the groundskeeper of the Dursite Palace, someone you keep close because he works under the Queen.
Hey, you boys,
he squeaks. He's an earnest fellow, but he seriously lacks in smarts. To DD's right is the muscle of the operation, the hegemonic brute. Truth be told, he's just kind of a big guy who works as a guard in a nearby prison.
boss.
He says, tipping his hat.
Sorry I was late. We got a troublesome prisoner back at the jail.
You nod, and the 4 of you head inside. Unbeknownst to the upper echelons of Dursite society, you 4 comprise one of the most nefarious criminal syndicates in the Inciposphere, the Suits. And for a city as nefarious and criminal as Durs, that's saying a lot.
King says you got a job for us,
says HB, referring to the code name of the draconian dignitary. You stand, as you always do, behind the bar, pouring drinks for your cronies, greasing the wheels of your syndicate.
Are we really gonna off the Queen, boss?
Squeaks the droll, slugging back his drink of choice. Chocolate milk. Outside the door of this bar, you are the dutiful Sovereign Slayer, the Queen's royal agent. But behind this bar, you are Jack Noir. You toss your hat to the counter. Jack Noir doesn't wear shitty hats.
Not so.
You reply after taking a sip of rich bourbon.
Not yet, at least. Killing a broad is one thing, boys. Easy as pie. Just put the knife in and twist.
You mime stabbing someone in the air in front of you.
Killing a queen's easy, see?
Your 3 compatriots listen closely, but you have a feeling only King really understands.
That's treason, though, ain't it, boss?
Asks HB, scratching his head.
Right you are, Queen.
Your nose wrinkles. You never understood why HB went in for a code name like Queen, as such a feminine moniker doesn't suit his massive heft.
Why should we kill the old BQ?
Droll asks, cocking his head to one side and milk mustache on his upper lip.
Easy, Ace.
King leans back and answers for you. It seems he's figured out the score before you've even said it.
So we can be in charge.
That's right.
You agree.
And with the Black King all tied up all the way across the Veil on Skya,
we'll have an easy time of taking over back home.
King finishes. You nod, grinning.
All right, easy enough, Queen says gruffly. But how are we gonna do it?
Easy,
you say, lighting a cigarette, biting it between your sharp teeth.
We take the ring.
Oh, the Ring of Orbs fourfold,
Ace excitedly says.
The ring what gives the old lady her powers. Hold on,
Queen says, holding his hand up.
That ain't easy, dipshit, that's hard. The Queen's guarded at all times, and on top of that, she's stronger than the 4 of us combined.
Right,
you say, leaning on the bar, spelling it out for your slow friend.
But who's in charge of the guys at the castle?
Queen scratches his chin.
Me?
Right, dipshit.
You reply, smacking him upside the head.
You call the guards away to the prison, stage a little riot or something, leaving the queen unprotected. At which point, we can yoink the ring. Nice and easy.
But boss!
Ace squeaks, raising his hand. You roll your eyes.
How are we gonna get the ring if she's wearing it?
That's the beauty, ain't it?
King speaks up this time.
She doesn't. All the time.
She don't?
You ask, quirking a brow. You didn't know that.
She used to.
King says, speaking slowly. He's got an uncanny knack of speaking in such a way that you hang on every word, a power he's using right now.
But ever since the heir prototyped that jester, the queen's been taking the thing off, putting it in her safe.
King flicks a piece of lint from his jacket.
Seems like she doesn't like being a clown.
You think back to seeing the queen in your office. She didn't look happy about the dress code herself, frankly, her crown dotted with little bells. Unlike you, however, the queen didn't have a choice of attire. Anyone who wore the Ring of Orbs fourfold was mutated into the form of whatever those hero brats prototyped.
That hypocrite.
You hiss.
And our buddy Ace here knows the combination to the queen's safe,
Says King, rubbing Ace's little bald head.
I do!
He says gleefully.
So, the plan's simple then.
You say, putting your hands flat on the counter. Your three stooges listen up.
First, Queen starts a riot in the prison, calls away the guards. Next, King drags BQ away to chat while the ring is off. Make up something about news from Prospect.
King and Queen nod.
Finally, Droll opens up the safe, nabs the ring, and we meet back here.
You look at each of your cohorts. Ace nods rapidly, excited.
and then
King finishes for you dramatically.
we kill the queen.
Silence takes over the dim, quiet bar.
Why not just kill her while the ring's off?
Queen asks. A reasonable question.
Easy.
King replies.
If we kill her, we've assassinated a queen. Any jackass can do that. What we're doing is taking over. To do that, we need to have power too.
The power being the ring. If I've got the ring, her little cronies become my little cronies.
You grin.
In other words, our little cronies.
Once Ace gets the ring, we'll regroup here to head back to the palace together to off Her Highness.
King says, suckling down the last few centimeters of his cigarette.
And then
The suits rule Durst!
Ace claims excitedly.
The suits rule dice.
You confirm, voice full of venom. The four of you grin wickedly, menacing laughter filling the whole bar.
I guess you really are the Sovereign Slayer.
King says, clapping you on the shoulder.
I guess I am.
You grin. It's going to be a long night. Homestuck Alternate Universe is written, produced, and read by Funk McLovin. Additional voices include articulately composed as Mom and Rose Lalonde, Janiyah Riley as Jade and Kanaya, Captain Laser as Jack Noir, and AE as Terezi Pyrope. Art is by Sunny D, and additional credits are by Funk McLovin. Please support Homestuck Alternate Universe by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment. Homestuck AU is also on Patreon at patreon.com/funkmclovin. This month's patrons include Kerpel, Quartz, Jan Measly, Christopher, Sir Sheepsalot, Eliza Azalea, Sloth Bucket, Dawn, Athena, Neo Makara, Ka, Danica, Hyris, Zipperozic, Kaleidoscope Mediator, Elizabeth, Luna, and Jojo. Thank you.